Hi everybody. Well, beautiful sunny day. It's pretty warm out. I only have a little sweat vest on today. No new newses. No new news on the poop situation. Nothing's been showing up on camera, and there's no new piles anywhere that I've seen. So maybe they've either moved on or just still not coming out yet. You'd think on a day like today, though, that they might be coming out. It's beautiful, beautiful sunny day. But yeah, now you hear me talking about vaccines, you hear me talking about a lot of things like that and lockdowns and things like that. Well, Ottawa just reported that our hospitals are at 98% capacity. And you'll never guess why. That's right. Our acute care in Ottawa, where we have 5 hospitals, by the way, 5, is at 98% capacity. And in some days, they're saying they're in 110% capacity, where they're trying to find people room. And it has nothing to do with COVID. Well, in a way. In a way it does, and in a way it doesn't. It's not people who have COVID. It's not people suffering from COVID. In fact, in Ottawa, latest report is we had like 74 people, but in hospital, it's just over 20 people in hospital and only 4 people in ICU in 5 hospitals. I mean, that's definitely not people at capacity. That's not at capacity when you only have 4 people in ICU and 21 people or so spread out among 5 hospitals, right? What it is, though, is people have been so afraid of going to the hospital or going to the doctors that they've been putting off and putting off and putting off going to get something checked out. And by the time they go and get checked out, it's in such a condition that they need to be emergency admitted in the hospital. They've let it go so long, strictly from fear of possibly catching COVID. And I mean, like, we've done a great job of instilling fear in people, right? Like, every time you turn on the news, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about COVID. They're talking about getting sick. They're talking about people passing away. Every single time. You cannot watch a news broadcast in Canada without at least 5 out of 6 stories talking about COVID, right? So they have instilled so much fear in our populace and our people, especially our older inhabitants in Canada, that they are just terrified just to go to the hospital and get checked out for some severe, severe ailments. And it's now leading to acute care overcapacity in hospitals. Not because of COVID, because they're afraid of COVID. Aren't we kind of curing the disease by chopping off our head? You know what I mean? Like curing a headache for chopping off our head. It's just, with all the issues that are now stemming from our protection of people from COVID, we're now having huge mental issues, mental illness issues. We're having isolation issues. We're having bankruptcies. We're having businesses go under. We're having, just people are angry all the time. Now we have people holding off on main surgeries and visiting the hospitals until it's too late, to the point where they have to be emergency admitted into the hospitals. Maybe we shouldn't be pounding fear into everybody, and maybe we should be pounding common sense. If you need to go to the hospital, go to the hospital. Don't be stupid. I mean, I know they have it out there like, oh my God, you're going to catch it if you go, and you're never going to come out of the hospital. You're going to pass away in the hospital. It's not true. I've had surgery during COVID in the hospitals. I've been in the hospital for tests many, many times. They have precautions all over the place in the hospitals. They do a good job. Is there a breakout once in a while? Yes, but guess what? There's a breakout at your grocery store almost every single day. So don't be afraid to get looked at the hospital. if you're not doing well, or if you have something like cancer treatments. People are putting off cancer treatments because they're afraid to go to the hospital because they might catch COVID. We got to stop instilling fear into everybody and instill a little bit more, here we go. It's time to come out of this. We got to start living our lives with our precautions. Here come the vaccines. Here come the precautions. But don't be afraid to visit your doctor. Don't be afraid to go to the hospital. You don't want to have 50 people in your house? Don't have 50 people in your house. But that has nothing to do with going to the hospital for your cancer treatments. Had I not gone to the hospital for my very first checkup of having cancer, I would not have survived the month. So that just goes to show. And I was feeling fine at the time, by the way, guys. I had one night was a really bad day, and then the next week I was feeling perfectly fine. And one doctor, in fact, said, you know what, maybe you don't need to go for that colonoscopy and check out to see if you have cancer or not. Had I listened to that doctor and not my original doctor, I would not be here today getting angry that we have basically instilled so much fear in people that they're afraid to go to the hospital for really serious problems. So it's not COVID that's filling up our hospitals. It's the fact that people have been waiting because of COVID to go to the hospital. You can't write this stuff. It's just kind of strange. But if you do anything out there and you know anybody who's having serious medical problems and serious conditions, please urge them to go to the hospital. I don't know how much clearer we should be on that. It's your fear of possibly catching a COVID disease should not outweigh the possibility of you dying from cancer because you haven't gone in for your treatments. Or you haven't gone in for your cancer checkup. Oh, I'll be okay. Yeah, you might not be okay because it can go fast. So please, everybody out there, don't be afraid to visit your doctor or go to the hospital. You want to stand as far away from people as you can. You want to wear 9 masks in front of your face. Go ahead and do it. Coat yourself in saran wrap for all I care. But don't put off going to the hospital because nothing in that decision makes any sense.